Peace. This is Wazwords Media back at y'all for another round. And Knicks fans, I know I stood away for a little bit, and I just wanted to, before going in, because I did record a video, I deleted it because I said, you know what, I sound like an upset, angry Knicks fan. So I said, you know what, let me do the knowledge first. Let me gather some facts before I speak on this situation. And it's crazy that they let Tom Thibodeau go. The New York Knicks were a laughingstock organization before Tibbs, with many years not making the playoffs. But as soon as Tibbs comes in, right away, the Tibbs impact. You know, the Knicks go to the playoffs, first playoff appearance in years. Could have been a whole decade. Then from there, you know, he went on to have 4 playoff appearances in 5 years. Not only 4 playoff appearances in 5 years, but what really bothered me about this firing was that there was progression, you know? Like, 1 year, they made it to the first round. Then they made it to the second round. Then, eventually making it to the Eastern Conference Finals this past playoff series. And then to just fire him without giving him one more chance to run it back to see if he could get you over the Eastern Conference Finals hump. It's not like, you know, a coach that has been trying to get out the first round or second round and he just can't. He showed progression. So I really didn't understand this firing, but it became a little more clear what happened a couple days after. I read a report that the New York Knicks conducted a end of season meeting, and in this meeting they had the owner, James Dolan, and some top players were there as well in this meeting, and they voiced their opinions on Tom Thibodeau. And this is what eventually led to the firing. So the firing wasn't a Leon Rose move. It went above his head. You know, Leon Rose did not want to fire him, but it was above Leon Rose's head, and he had to deliver the bad news to Tibbs in person. But amongst those players, I'm certain is Mikal Bridges, because Bridges already, if you remember after that Portland game, when Bridges, of all people, hits the game winner, he's the one that starts talking about, yeah, you know, these minutes, the impact. Like, he spoke bad about Tibbs and his system of playing people. Karl Towns is another one that, you know, it's almost like what my parents told me when I was younger. If somebody's your ex, they're your ex for a reason. Don't get back with them. And we saw what happened in Minnesota with Tibbs and Karl Towns. You know, Jimmy Butler put that news out there that, yo, this place, you know, Tibbs is trying to run it one way, the players are trying to run it another way, and players, I'm sure he meant Karl Towns. And that's where we get that famous game where Jimmy Butler, the famous scrimmage, Jimmy Butler took all the bench players and he had Karl Towns and the other starters play against him, and he spanked them. And then he leaked that one out himself, Jimmy Butler. So, you know, it didn't work with Tibbs and Karl Towns. Tibbs demands maximum effort from his players. Guys like Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, those guys I don't think were amongst those that spoke bad about Tibbs. They are Tibbs type of players. You know, if Tibbs wants 48 minutes, they're going to give Tibbs 48 minutes and not complain. So I think it really comes down to Towns and Bridges. I think were the ones that voiced their opinion about Tibbs, and it swayed things the wrong way. And that's it. They let him go. Again, I don't think it was the right move, because Tibbs, man, I mean, he led them to their first playoff appearance in years. And he showed progression, so I think it was premature. Especially now in these finals. We're seeing that the Pacers are not a bad team. They're not a bad team. And I think that the Knicks reacted in an emotional way, like, damn, we lost. We got to make a drastic change. And that wasn't probably the thing they needed to do. They probably just needed to retool the bench. If you look at why we lost to the Pacers, it wasn't Tibbs. It was guys like Mikal Bridges not closing in on shooters. It was the perimeter defense that was atrocious, letting people shoot wide open three-pointers. That's what caused us this series, not Tibbs. It was Karl Anthony Towns with his dumb fouls. 2 stupid fouls in the first quarter. Like, that's what caused us this series. It wasn't Tibbs. The only thing that you could say Tibbs probably was the fact that he didn't go into his bench and the Pacers were playing like 10 guys and Tibbs was only playing like 7. Okay, maybe that is one knock. That's a knock on Tibbs, yes. But all the other stuff on the court that the Knicks allowed and did during this series, that's not on Tibbs. All them Jalen Brunson turnovers and Josh Hart turnovers, that's not on Tibbs. Or, the lack of perimeter defense, the lack of switching on the defender's wide open, dudes is looking lost. Like, they never, ever played organized basketball and understand that you, on a switch, you have to run to that open man. Like, there was a lot of things that the Knicks did horrendously in this series, and that's why they lost. The turnovers, but Tibbs, yeah, he should have went to this bench a lot earlier, but then you seen he made the adjustment. He went to the bench in the last couple games. So, he showed that he was open to it, open to making that adjustment. So you could have had that talk with him like, yo, this year we're going to need you to dip into your bench during the regular season. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. The Knicks continue their search. The one person that I think personally is a prime candidate that I think has a really good chance of making it is former Knick assistant Johnny Bryant. Johnny Bryant he's one of the guys that help guys like Emmanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett, Randall. Like, he helped them guys establish a better jump shot. Like, he's a good offensive coach. He's a player's coach. And as you see, the Cleveland Cavaliers, they stepped their game up, and he became an assistant to the Cavaliers this past year. So it seems like at these past stops, wherever, because he was one of the first assistants that Tom Thibodeau brought in, and the Knicks changed it, turned things around. They improved. The Cleveland Cavaliers became first place in the league in the Eastern Conference. They turned it around as well. So it seems like everywhere that Johnny Bryant goes, there's some success. So I think he's a sleeper candidate for the job. If not, I think Mike Malone would probably be the other guy that you could lean in that direction of, because Mike Malone is a New York guy. He was a part of the Knicks system before. He's a Queens native. So I think that might make some sense as well. But we'll see what the Knicks do, what direction they go. But just want to end by saying thank you to Tom Thibodeau, man. For real, Tibbs, you were a great coach. Thank you for resurrecting this franchise that was buried for years and was a laughingstock, and you made us serious business, man. You made us a team that teams had to prepare for, and then not only that, but you made us a contender. So, hats off, salute to you, Tibbs. Wish you all the best. Thank you for all the good years. I'm Waz for Waz Words Media. Peace.